You know what topic we haven't talked about in a while? Crazy things said by clients. So I've been keeping a list and I've accumulated a bunch of items. So today, let's cross some of those off the list and put them in today's video. So that's what we're doing today. And normally I try to keep things educational. I don't want to make fun of people for asking things that seem silly because, well, they might be new or just don't know. In this video, it's probably going to be less educational and we're just going to have some fun, just kind of going over some of the things that I came across recently. So if you're into that, that's what we're doing. All right, first let's start with the craziest email I've seen. So we get this email, clients send an email asking to produce documents. And they say, produce document, page 1, document 1, document 3, document 6, and document 10. Page 2, document 3, document 4, and document 5. And I'm reading this, I'm like, wait, what are they talking about? Do they mean like a document and they want to produce specific pages from them? Like, I'm trying to scratch my head, like, what are they talking about? And after a while, I realized what they're talking about is when you review in Relativity, you have documents listed, a certain number of documents per page. So once you get to the bottom, you click on the next page. That's what they're talking about. They just looked at the first, second, third, whatever number of documents that they see, and they wrote it down in an email or whatever, and then they went to the next page, and then they made a note of which documents they want to produce, and they send us that list. No Bates numbers, nothing, not even telling us which saved search they're using or which folder. They just said, page 1, this document, and that document. And I'm sure you guys know, if you're using your review system, you should have a tag, and you should be tagging documents for production. You should never be doing that. You should never be copying and pasting Bates numbers or anything like that. That is the whole reason of the review system. You have a coding panel on the right. When you're looking at a document, check the checkbox if the document you want it to be produced. Don't do any of this weird things like that. I know, not terribly educational, like I said in the beginning, but these are just the fun things that I'm seeing people do. Next, let's talk about password protected files. Now, you're always going to get some, there are some here and there. If you get too many, you do need to let the client know. Maybe they know some of the passwords or something like that. And so that was the case on the job. We were processing and lots of documents were marked as a password protected. So we were reached out to a client, say, hey, do you happen to know some of these passwords? Because we are getting a lot of them and it's probably not going to be great for review. And what the answer was, they're like, yeah, no, we don't know, but you have a custodian field there in the database. Go ahead and email custodians of those documents and ask them for their passwords. Now, the reason why this was so interesting to me is no one has ever asked us to do that. It was weird, like, yeah, just, you know the custodians, you got their email addresses, just email them, all right? Like, it's fine. They'll tell you what their passwords are. But we don't know, we didn't collect the data, we don't know who they are, we have no, connection with these people. So it was really weird when someone said it. Now, if we were to be doing legal hold for this client and we actually send an email about putting documents on hold or something like that, then in that situation, maybe it would make more sense because you did ask for documents, that they gave you the documents, and then you say, oh, we can't open them because they're passwords. So in that situation, maybe that would be appropriate, but it was really weird to me when the client was like, not a big deal, like, yeah, just email those custodians, get their passwords from them, whatever, it's fine. What happened there is we kind of declined that. We said, look, we're not really comfortable doing it. We don't know who those people are, and they wouldn't expect email coming from us anyway. So we told them to do it themselves and just get all the known passwords. So this is how we kind of left it. All right, now we had this other client. We were working with them on PDF production. So they would send us a few documents. They say to endorse it, do something, and then give them PDFs back. And we've been doing them on and off all the time. And at one point they come back to us and say, hey, can you change how you guys endorse it? You always add the endorsement to the bottom of the image. Can you not do that? Can you just put it on the image itself? And we're like, well, that's going to be weird. That's going to, it could overlap with the actual text. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. Just stamp it on top of the text. We don't care. And so we were trying to figure out why are you doing this? This doesn't make any sense. And when we found out, it turned out to be because the people who are receiving this, they need to print it out. And when they print, they don't want to say fit to page. they want to just be able to hit print, and so it automatically prints. Because if you don't do that, it's going to cut off the bottom of the image. But the users didn't want to select fit to page. So because of that, they asked us to endorse overlapping with the text and the image. It's like the craziest thing. I could not have made that up myself, but that was a legitimate thing we were asked to do. All right, so let's do one more. So this person was evaluating my application message crawler, and they wanted to see if it's going to work for their Bloomberg conversion. And I believe it was a gentleman working with his assistant, right? And the assistant was emailing me, asking me all these questions, and I sent them a link to download it, and then they were able to like convert something, and I think it was working fine. And then the gentleman kind of jumped in the conversation at some point and just wrote this like really harsh email to me saying like, I want to know who authorized you to reverse engineer Bloomberg files. I need a letter from Bloomberg telling me that you're an authorized person and you're allowed to do this. Otherwise, we cannot be using your software or be associated with you in any way. And I was like, dude, you know, this is not that serious. You know, Bloomberg is just a text file. You can open it with a text editor, you can read it. There is no authorization needed. It's not a proprietary file. There's nothing hidden. It's all available right there to you. If you can look at it, you can write some code to pull out different pieces of it and store them in fields. And I don't think he was really getting it. He thought that I'm reverse engineering some kind of proprietary file type that only select few are allowed to do, and I'm breaking the law or copyright or something like that. I don't know if they wound up purchasing copy or not, but that's kind of how the conversation went. You know, we were working with his assistant, and everything was going fine, and then he jumped in and he got started freaking out over basically nothing. So those are the few short stories I wanted to share with you. If you got any fun ones, put them in the comment section below. I would love to read those. Don't forget to follow on LinkedIn, subscribe on YouTube, and I will see you in another video.